Hello everyone, hope everyone is doing good. Thank you for joining me on another crazy Pedrosa adventure. In this video we are going to travel out to the old Spanish capital of Toledo. Toledo's heyday was under Charles V. You might have heard that saying, the sun never sets on the British Empire, but it was Charles V who not only said it first, but he wasn't joking. His empire was 4 million square kilometers and spanned the entire world. In 1506, he was born Lord of the Netherlands, which was 6 kingdoms. Then, in 1516, he became the first king of the United Spain. But that wasn't enough because the Pope named him his Holy Roman Emperor in 1519. None of this, of course, matters because the real reason I like Carlos V is because in 1522, he's told his cook to add sugar to chocolate. And you know what you get when you add sugar to chocolate? Yep, that's right, you get a chocolate bar, so you know he was headed to greatness. It goes without saying that Carlos V was a very powerful and rich person. Along with chocolate, gold came almost immediately from the New World to Spain, and this can be seen almost immediately when you drive down the grand boulevards into Toledo. There is a kind of bombastic swagger to the city that puts everything over the top, which is also very literal because the city sits on a hill and the cathedral is literally on the top. Carlos V didn't have a zoo when he was the king, but what he did have was Plaza Zocodover, which means the beast market. Toledo was a cultural powerhouse where trades from different civilizations mixed. An example of this is damesquinado, which is a gold inlay technique that combines the ancient Japanese and Greek techniques together. It really doesn't matter which road or street you take in Toledo because all roads in Toledo lead to the cathedral. The cathedral's official name is Cathedral Ramada Santa Maria de Toledo, which translates basically to the first cathedral of St. Mary of Toledo. It isn't called the first cathedral because it was the first cathedral in Toledo. It's called the first cathedral because it was the first cathedral of all the Holy Roman Empire. The style of this cathedral is Baroque, and that is an understatement when it comes to describing this cathedral. Even today, it is considered only second to St. Peter's Basilica, and not by much. The church started in the 12th century, and literally centuries of wealth were poured into this church. It is an imposing church that shows the might of a once glorious empire. Stepping inside the church, you are greeted by massive archways, which stained glass windows shine light from 4 stories above you. It is said that on December 18, 1665, Ildefonsus, the Bishop of Toledo, was praying when he received a vision of the Virgin Mary. The Virgin Mary came down and blessed him and gave him a special sash. This altar commemorates that exact place where this happened. On the side, you are allowed to touch the stone where the Virgin Mary stood. It is said that if you put your fingers on your cheek after touching the stone, it is like being kissed by the Virgin Mary. Not sure about that, but I can say that the stone was cold. As you walk towards the Treasury Room, you start to see a bright light that shines in a corner. As you get closer, your vision starts to get clearer, and then you are hit with the Monstrance. This Baroque altarpiece is 10 feet tall and is primarily made out of gold and silver with all manner of fine jewelry adornments. The basic shape is a hexagon, and it is just layered with works of fine and delicate arches that lead up to a golden cross. To get an idea of how much gold there is in this piece, the base alone has 21 kilos of gold, or about 46 pounds, just the weight of which is worth over $1 million. When you are in the cathedral, you will see these red hats suspended from the ceiling. If you look down, you will find the answer to this mystery. They are cardinal hats, and they mark the spot in which the cardinal was buried. The hat is left hanging to turn to dust to show that all earthly things will return to the place from which they came. John the Evangelist, the author of the fourth gospel account, is symbolized by an eagle, a figure of the sky, and believed by Christian scholars to be a look straight into the sun. The seats in this choir loft are the same, except for the one in the back, which was reserved for the king. The portal of the clock is the oldest of the portals, begun in the 14th century and located in the facade of the north side. The bell still rings till this day.
I lost the count. Yes, the building. Because inside, after the construction, we're still doing something. Well, he spent around 35 years, more or less. Was the Academy of the Men.
The main altar of the cathedral sports the ultimate example of what is known as Gothic retablo. Commissioned by the Cardinal Cisneros, the work begun in 1497 and finished in 1504. 8 master carvers were used for this work. On the bottom, you start with the Nativity, and at the top you end with the Ascension of Christ. As much as the main altar is a masterpiece, it is not the best altar. Imagine you were a pilgrim coming in the 16th century. The cathedral was dark and only lanterns lit the beautiful altar pieces. Then, a powerful light shines on a radiant Madonna holding the Christ child. Slowly, your eye focuses up towards the light and you see the heaven. This is the Transparencia. Stepping back from the Transparencia, you see something you don't usually see in a 16th century cathedral: a window. What is interesting is that if you go outside, you can't see this window. You can only see it from a certain angle inside the cathedral. Its purpose is to focus and bathe the sculpture in light. It is said that these chains on the back of this church represent the chains of the Christians who were freed from the Moors when the King of Spain united the country. His official name was Dominicos Theotokopoulos, but just like me, no one in Spain could pronounce his name, so he was simply known as El Greco. He died in 1614 and was known for capturing Spain in all of its glory in his paintings. He lies in state under one of his paintings that portray the path of those that are faithful. This river flows all the way to Portugal along this river in Spain. At the top we have a view of the Toledo Castle and the city. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video in which we visited Toledo, Spain's old capital. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. It helps my channel grow. If you've been to Spain, please let me know by leaving a comment, or just make a comment individually. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon with a new exciting video.